predominantly Hispanic school district. And one of the teachers, and it just so happened that my whole team that we had on our 7th grade team was all of us was Black. We even had a teacher from Cameroon on our team. And so we couldn't get no more Black. And so I'm a smart ass sometimes. So I had all of us shirts. Had a shirts made that had the Wakanda symbol on it. And the name of our team, our departmental team. And it said that forever. And we walked around.
You know what? Listen, yeah, you smart ass. No, I couldn't imagine. Yeah.
You know what we gonna do? We gonna put her in timeout.
Already. First time on the show.
But let me ask you a question. Can I ask you a question? The two sisters that's on there, y'all are educators, right? Y'all are teachers, right?
And that's my daughter.
Oh, okay. My mom is a career teacher. My mom is a career teacher. She retired. My sister's a career teacher. She has like 2 years left to retirement. And they were telling me what they were going through what the students were going through from after the pandemic to before the pandemic. It was like it was a hard transition for you guys as teachers because they had gotten so complacent with being home. When coming back into the classrooms, it was a whole different set of attitude. It was a different set of laziness. It was a different set of things that y'all had to go through. I'm raised by teachers, so I have a profound respect for y'all, but I'm just seeing what y'all are going through now, specifically post-pandemic and things like that. So respect to y'all for that, because these kids are a little bit different now.
They real different. They real different. It's unreal, the stuff that we have to that comes out from it. For example, this one little boy, the teacher that I was talking about, she's Black too, and every single day, probably starting in March, April, every day almost to the end of school, every time that teacher walked past us there, he said, "Chicken and watermelon eating, bitch."
Dang.
See that's now. See I'll have my questions for that. I'm going to save them, but I definitely have questions for that area too. That's pretty funny. Before we get into that, I have a question. I know you ladies have paid attention, and maybe Rochelle. I don't know. Have you guys been kind of following the whole Keke Palmer debate? I'm sorry. Shit, I'm sorry.
Yeah, open up a can.
She gotta start throwing gas water and shit. My bad. Okay, let me lead you guys in, because listen, I'm trying to keep you. Look, we gotta play bumper pool with Tammy, because her ass gonna go off the rails. We gotta play.
Right.
We gotta play bumper pool.
She gonna pull a CD and fuck around and fall out the chair.
Okay, so here's my question, because I already know everybody's got commentary. The first part of that is, hey, do you think that he was right, wrong, justified or not for what he did? And how do you feel about what she did? And do you think that she was justified in what she did? And go.
I think he was wrong for going on social media, complaining and talking crazy when we could have did that at home. Thanks. And then to top that off, boy, it's Usher. Like, it ain't. I mean, it's Usher. Like, what you expect? Like, I'm gonna make sure I look my best if I was in that situation. And I don't give a good goddamn who said what about what. If you don't like it, you can leave. It's Usher.
Oh,
and I would have my booty out too.
I take it you're an Usher fan.
My booty out too. If I look like Keke after having a baby, you best believe it. Trust and believe it.
Okay.
All right.
It wasn't like he didn't know what she had on when she left home.
That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
Try to bust her out on social media. She should have come home and cussed you out.
Exactly.
She did.
Pull her booty out.
She did.
Pull her booty out. Talking about what you got to say now. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
so he just made a fool of himself at the end of the day, because everybody signed with Keke anyway.
Oh yeah.
So he
did.
But my thing is, one, it's the style. Everybody's wearing sheer clothing now.
Well, not me.
But she didn't look tasteless. She had on a black bodysuit underneath. She looked cute.
I think
She
it was
had a baby too, girl.
Yeah, she looks amazing.
Know what you're working with.
Exactly. I was still waddling after having the twins, so she looks amazing.
Girl, your kids is my age. Don't give me that shit, no. Hey, don't be one of people talking about how old is your son? My son is 139 months. Niggas are grown. They 422 months.
5 years old.
Well, I can still complain. My baby's only 6 months, so I'm gonna keep complaining for a little bit.
Girl, you get 3 more days. I ain't talking to you. Shit. Come Vegas, come see me. I got you. Hey, I got 3 of them, and I got my figure back.
Hey, okay.
Okay, my brother. Okay, well, George, listen, go ahead. Look, I know, Nick, Barbie, if you own, look, you can't catch me, so I'm gonna talk shit. George, what's your thought?
So we gonna go to this.
Keke Palmer wanted to dress like a hoe, showing her butt cheeks at Usher's concert in Las Vegas, and then her boyfriend Darius tweeted about it, and then everybody called him an insecure hater. Yeah, let's keep it going. Now, I don't know what y'all are thinking, but this is a little too close for comfort for me. Now, no disrespect to Usher, but I don't think any man wants his woman grinding or dancing on any dude like this, even if it was Usher. In an outfit like that, too, her boyfriend Darius then went on to tweet this, that no man wants his woman dancing around with her booty cheeks showing. I completely agree with that. Then I saw some female respond again with some of the dumbest tweets I've ever seen, talking about he forgets that he's a boyfriend. Sis is single and able to do as she pleases unless he puts a ring on it. Wrong. Let me tell y'all females something. If you want to be a wife, you need to act like a wife first.
Boom.
Not everybody wants to be a wife, number one. What do you think, Amenra?
He froze up. He's stuck. He's stuck on that bullshit. That's what he's stuck on. He's stuck on that bull. We gonna get his take. Go ahead, George. Don't be
First
no
of all,
either.
my first thought is this. Actually, in my opinion, if you got it, show it. You know, goes for my wife. If you got it, show it. I ain't got a problem with it because I mean, if I'm the only person interested in my wife, then I probably need to reevaluate my own issues. I'm just
so
saying.
If she came out and she had on a sheer dress and say a bikini underneath, you'd be okay for her just walking out there like that.
Yeah. If it looks good on her, hell yeah.
All right, if it looks good, exactly.
If I like it, if I like it, I wouldn't give a fuck what anybody else thought.
So right, and you know what? Here's what I'll say. I'm spinning on everybody. Here's my thought. If you with me, wear whatever you want to wear. Cause I'm like, gee, I say this all the time. If somebody ain't looking at your chick or your dude, you need a new chick or a new dude. But I also agree with Rochelle and a lot of other people. They should have had that discussion before she left home. Now, I will also say he knew who he signed that deal with. Keke been a freak for a while. So that being said, you knew what you did. You knew who you and being that she's a celebrity and he's not. Okay, basically you're the mister. You're not the missus. You're the mister. So you don't have a lot of pull. But
well, I think he did that to try to make himself relevant, and it backfired.
It backfired horribly.
But this is the problem, young people. Get on that social media, running your face. But let me stop y'all real quick. If first of all, I got pictures of my old lady in some risque shit if we go out. But if she's going out and something like that and she's gonna hug up, I'll be honest with you, it has nothing to do with insecurity because the first thing y'all want to holler is insecurity. No, it's a respect factor. If I'm with her, she can be butt ass naked. And I want everybody to look, don't touch. But here's the deal. If I'm with my woman and if I happen to see that she's leaving and going, we going out and she's wearing it, and I go, no, you don't wear that. It's absolute. It's absolute, which means I wouldn't let my woman wear that without me. She wore that without him and got on stage with Usher. That's where he lost this whole relationship. Nigga, pay child support and move out. You're done for. Because I would have straight up put my foot down and that would have been it. And she could have come in and had a good time and the locks would have been changed. Even if it was her house, the locks would have been changed because But I've never done it. But I said this to my grown daughter the other day. If I tell your mom not to do that, she damn well better not do it. I've just never said it. But if I do, that's it. Case closed. So but it comes to talk about it at home. Now, for those who don't want to be wives and kept woman and all that shit, but she has said herself, she never thought she'd find someone, or she never thought she'd have this, that, and the third. She never thought she'd meet someone who accepted and supported her lifestyle. Take note of that. She meant what she said. When people show you who they are, believe them. She showed him who she was, and he didn't believe her. Kiki been tramping for a long time, and then she did this whole I just had a baby bullshit means nothing to me. So all of a sudden, the doctors and everybody or whoever helped you get a little booty and titty, you can buy that shit a dime a dozen with a box of cereal. So that's no excuse for tricking. And the fact that she got all up on Usher, they didn't just meet; they been fucking. But you know what?
It's Usher, dude.
It's
like,
Usher.
come on.
Listen, fuck Usher.
It'd be like if he pulled me on stage in a concert. If I get a chance to grind on Usher,
I'm gonna be 100 with you. I'm gonna be 100 with you. It's certain dudes. I'm not gonna say shit. I know who my old lady got a thing for. It's certain dudes, but you know Usher. I'm like that square ass dude. No, Usher. No. Like I said,
Moore.
He's cool.
So you think
Gandy too? No, he's Gandy too. No, sir, it's just certain dudes. You gotta be. Look, those are not manly men. So as a manly man, we looking to go. We gonna go with him? Hell no. You gotta come with somebody real. Not be like, all right, girl, I'm gonna turn my head, hug that nigga for 5 seconds. I'm gonna look back. I'm G about my shit. But fucking Usher, my cousin's friends with Usher. He danced with Usher for years. Usher's corny. I mean, he's talented. He's dope. Don't let me tell y'all I'm hating. He's dope. But
he gave $3 bills. Ain't got shit to worry about anyway.
Oh shit, him? Nah, fuck that. All that to say, Kiki knew what she was doing. She knew the corny dude she got with. He put his business out there, and now he's about to be the ex. And he about to be the baby daddy. That's what he's about to be because he went soft at the wrong time. That's all I'm saying. They should have talked about it.
That's true.
What do you think, Amenra?
I'm riding. He wants to drink again.
Well, no, he had tried to say something, and you didn't hear him.
His connection's bad.
Yeah,
Did you see the message I sent you?
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holla at you, brother.
No, I was coming in and out, but I wasn't sure if y'all could hear me because the reception.
We got you now. Brother.
And then it's gone.
Yeah. Hey, for real, bro. You might have to
call that number.
Yeah, call the number. Or go outside and stand on top of the house and do the Karate Kid stance and hold
Put your hand, one hand up, stick one leg out.
Yeah.
I am in the middle of nowhere in Texas. Hold on.
You must
yes.
Are you using internet or your cell service?
Are you in Wiley or Saxy or somewhere?
Why are you trying to get a hit on the man?
He in Terrell.
She just gonna throw out his shit.
Hold on.
Damn, he might be trying to escape his baby mama or a crazy ex or somebody. You just gonna call him out. Damn. Hey.
Check.
I know who wants to know who made the potato salad at every cookout. I know who want to make the potato salad.
I will ask in a minute who made that.
Gotta ask who made this. Who made this?
Our family reunion, we was quick. Who made it? I don't want it.
Can't eat everybody's food.
You can't.
Oh no, you definitely can't.
That goes for girl. Yeah, you.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you all a question.
Talk about it. What's
up?
I've
got green bean casserole.
Oh no.
If I make it, yes. Anybody else?
So you'll eat green bean casserole, won't you?
I will.
Do you all eat green bean casserole, George? And
I put Rotel in.
I am not frozen. I'm just looking at your ass.
And
I put Rotel on mine.
Come on.
Thank you.
Rotel is good. What are you talking about?
No,
Rotel and everything.
No, black people Rotel is good.
You can put Rochelle in anything, and it tastes great in green bean casserole. It gives it a kick. It gives it a really good kick. I'll make it for you guys.
I've never had Rochelle in green bean casserole.
This was her staple thing she did every Thanksgiving. I'm talking about, I thought it was normal for Black people to have this at Thanksgiving until I realized it was a white dish.
I'm a raw. Unmute yourself. Coming in good.
Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah. That mute button's a bastard, boy.
I went out to the patio and stuff.
Be like that, man. We love you, boy. You ain't one.
I'm here.
Yeah. What's your take on that, brother? Not that damn casserole.
Give me the last sentence. What's the take on what? Y'all not gonna keep laughing at me, making fun of me.
Nah, we were talking about Kiki and her soon to be ex. What's your take on Kiki and Usher?
Well, the thing is, he had to know what was going in. When he was going in with it, dating a celebrity. First and foremost, you don't show weakness on the internet. That's the last thing you do.
Let him use you. Yes.
He making light skin look bad.
That part.
Hey.
Taking us back a few years. I mean, secondly, I was asking, does it make a difference if she's with you or not? Do you feel better with she wearing that? If you was there at the concert, would you feel better? Because I was always raised, when your woman wears something, be careful, because that can either put you in danger or not. You know what I mean? I came up with a family that was like, yo, be careful what your woman is wearing when she's out with you, because that shows how she feels about you. Because if she's out there showing all her goodies off and showing that off, that's gonna warrant some kind of attention. That's gonna make you have to be in a position to protect her. This is a different day and age, so it depends on where you're coming from the situation. Me particularly, I know you have that comes with it when you're dating a celebrity. Chill, because the last thing you're gonna do is her fans are gonna look at you to show weakness, and you just did.
Well, he's done. I agree. He's done. And the bad part about it, she really hasn't been quiet about her thought-like behavior. I mean, she's advertising. She's basically going, I wanted to have a baby with a good guy, but I'm really out there trying to advertise for the bad boy. But she's really not quiet about it, so more fool him. You know, for real. But
for her,
but she's been pretty positive in the tabloids. She's not the kind of person. She doesn't have a lot of bad press. Like, you never really seen bad press about Kiki. She has a certain, like, she's very outspoken, and she's very, like, she has a great personality, but you don't really see no ratchet stuff about her. So, like, that was unnecessary. If you're gonna bring up something about her, don't let that be the first thing you say, especially after she just had a kid. Because y'all remember, we watched her grow up from Akilah and the Bee. So we've watched her literally grow up. So now we see her as a grown woman. It's going to be taken the same way that y'all take Chloe Bailey. Some people can't afford to watch them grow up because we remember them as kids. Right. So Kiki will always be Akilah and the Bee to some people.
Like Raven Simone.
Yeah. Right. She's her own. Yep. They're their own people. And that's true. It's got to be hard growing up in the public. But the problem is, and again, she has not been shy about, if you just listen, you don't even have to listen hard. She shows and tells you who she is. And so, yeah, this dude, he was just trying to bandwagon and jump on. But again, you took seriously when she poked at you on fun. You had a baby with her? Come on, man. That was his big blunder. You really think you're going to get any good nothing now? Like, again, you about to be the ex. You about to be out in the rain, looking through the window at her and the baby with her booty cheeks out and be like, damn, that used to be my booty cheeks. And guess what? Usher going to be feeding your daughter cereal, nigga. So it's all bad. Combing her hair.
It's a little boy.
With his boyfriend.
What?
They're going to have threesomes with his boyfriend.
He doesn't have. What are you talking about? Usher is not. He doesn't have a boyfriend. Okay, that's blasphemy.
You're right.
Leave Usher alone.
He got boyfriends. Ask Puffy.
Leave Usher alone.
Oh, trust me, I will. He ain't my type.
And leave Usher alone. You sound like the Britney Spears fan.
Leave Britney alone.
That's funny. You talking about Brittany, but
got Brittany running around spinning in circles in a panic.
Look, I know Brittany done lost her mind. We worked so hard to get her out of that conservatorship, and she need her medication back immediately.
Brittany been wild, but I feel bad a little bit because she was a victim of that exploitation, like a lot of people would like. Well, you see what happened to her the other day. See, we have summer league here in Vegas. We're having NBA summer league.
Well, there's a little bit more of the story to that. There's a little bit more to that story because I'm a ex-dancer and I know dancers that know Kevin Federline personally.
He crazy.
It's a different story. We were just having this conversation about Miss Spears. Yeah, it's a little bit deeper. I'm not going to get into it technically, but everything that you see and hear in the tabloids, opposite.
I mean, yeah, that's how, of course, she's the celebrity.
And I think Kevin was a freeloading piece of crap.
He actually wasn't. I just found out he wasn't.
Don't talk.
That's how they painted it. I found out he wasn't.
I'm talking about Usher.
No, let me tell you why. Because Kevin lived the American dream. For every woman who got child support, nobody said shit. Kevin just happened to hit that lick. He federlined her ass. It's a verb now.
Yeah, but you know what? He had him and his other woman, Booger Jack Turk.
What's your point? What's your point?
Well, it's good for the goose, right?
He did it the right way. And here's the thing: her kids don't even like her. I do feel bad for her sometimes because she's nuts.
I do.
But you saw she got her and Victor. She got. They said she got slapped and punched by the homeboy's bodyguard, the basketball player here in Vegas.
That was funny because he probably didn't even recognize her.
Well, no, he was walking, and his security did their job. She came up behind him doing the whole, excuse me, sir, trying to excuse me, sir. If you don't know his name and he's 7 feet tall, you're nobody important. So his security just moved her hand away, and she said, oh, he slapped me and all that. If a 7-foot man slaps you,
turned into a Karen,
you will know you've been slapped.
No, it wasn't. She was slapped by the basketball player. It was the security guard.
The security guard pushed her hand. And I
must be watching the different videos because it was a full slap.
Whatever.
Oh, so
he was doing his job.
But I mean, at the end of the day, I agree he was doing his job.
Yeah, hey, keep your hand off my boss. You introduce yourself, or have your people call my people, or you gonna what the 5 fingers say to the face? Damn it!
Because I think about if people did that to her, it would have been the same thing.
Oh, they would have knocked them on the ground.
Right. So she will be all right. She'll be all right.
No, she won't be all right. She cray.
Hey, we're getting close to the end of the first. Can I get my segment for like 3 minutes, George? Like 2-3 minutes.
Yeah. Hold on a second. We're gonna do yours and mine, and then
real quick.
We're gonna do yours. We're gonna do mine. We're gonna do
my shit ain't gonna last
brief
long.
Intermission, and then we're gonna jump into the goodies.
Cool.
So that's what it is. Nevertheless. Yo, let's get it. Sports and fitness with Roger Hawkins.
So listen, my advice to y'all is it's triple digits out here. It's 110, 114. So before you decide to drink 10-year-old bourbon and scotch, make sure you hydrate. There's my tip. But sports wise, I just want to give a couple quick shouts out. We're gonna shoot through this. First off, to my man Dick Vitale. For those of y'all that don't know who Dick Vitale is, look him up. He's a legend. He's down in throat cancer again. The thing is, he's 84. I don't even like college basketball sport. Dick Vitale made me like it. So I love the guy. Like I said, he got me all through high school and college with his commentating. So best wishes to Dick Vitale. And then just real briefly, look, y'all know I'm a fan of the Worm. Y'all know I'm a fan of Dennis Rodman. I don't care who knows it. Like that's my guy. I fucks with the worm. But he did the ultimate no. He got his girlfriend's face. Hear me, her face tattooed on his face. Now, here's Roger's rule about that kind of shit. I can get a tattoo of I won't get somebody's name, Randy. You know, if I didn't give birth to you, or if you didn't save my life twice, then I can't get anything of yours on my person. But like I said, if we good like that, cool. But this shit, Dennis is 1,000 years old, and dude, your girl, you know, come on, man. I don't think I like too many people that much. Not on my face. I mean, somewhere else, but your face, dog. Come on. I was mad when Mike Tyson did it, but he got this chick on his face. Now, when they break up, I can't wait to see the cover up. Holy shit, because you know it ain't gonna last. But yeah, that's I just thought it's kind of like wacky news more than anything sports news. What's the worm doing, man? I don't mind the kilt or the skirt, but the tat, nah. So I don't know. I'm not big on that kind of thing. Facial tattoos for one, but like even when people get their kids and stuff on them, like you know they gonna grow up, change. You know them little ugly motherfuckers gonna change one day, and then you're gonna be mad because they're not 2 and 3 and 4 no more. You're gonna be 24, and you got to get his prison number or some shit on. I'm just serious. I don't want to say that. I shouldn't say that. But anyway, that's really all I got. George, give me something positive, please. I'm horrible.
Oh, you're killing me. You're killing me.
I know. I'm horrible.
All right. So useless information, 90 seconds or less. Let's go.
You know what it is. So here we go. Reindeer like to eat bananas. Astronauts are not allowed to eat beans before they go into space because passing wind would damage the spacesuit. There are 10 times more stars in the sky than grains of sand on the world's deserts and beaches. A piece of paper can fold no more than 9 times. The flea can jump 350 times its body length. The placement of a donkey's eyes on its head enables it to see all 4 of its feet at all times. Honey is the only natural food made without destroying any life. The name Wendy was made up from the book of Peter Pan. Our eyes are always the same size from birth. A chameleon only moves its eyes in 2 directions at the same time.
Well, okay.
Now I got to think about how big my eyes was when I was
What's wrong with her?
I'm like,
That's too funny.
That's a crazy thought.
It is.
Your eyes are the same size.
His eyes are the same size.
They're the same size as when you were born.
Yeah, because her son, he had huge eyes.
Huge.
Like,
but he grew into them, I guess.
Yeah, because they normal now.
Yeah.
But now I'm trying to think that I have.
I don't know. Could you see your eyes?
Okay, you know what? We you know. Listen, I think that's cool. That's cool. I love the useless facts George be finding. Listen, but I know we got to go to break real quick, but I gotta show this because this is funny to me. So as we were going through, this popped up.
I know. I was reading that.
I know you were. Now. Yeah, we had some good commentary.
JJ, you about to get it. Oh, shit.
How about that? How about that?
Oh.
What is a throat?
Listen, when you get hit in the throat, ain't no R in that motherfucker. That means you going to the ground. That's you don't get you swallow with your throat. You get chopped in the damn throat. That's what it is. Don't you ever forget it. That's a throat. Yeah, right there. Just shut you right down. That's like the open palms. That's like the open palm slap to the back, and then the baby rears back and they can't talk, and you just come across, yeah, put their ass down for about 30, 45 minutes. That's what a throat chop is. You're welcome.
Wow. That
comes from research, girl. That comes from research. That's research and development. They quiet. They can't call anybody for help. Shit, you out of there.
A Mike Tyson punch.
No, because you don't want them to be permanently damaged, because then people come knocking on your door.
Right.
Each one they ask to be incapacitated temporarily so that you can let them think about it, but then they can recover and go do what the hell you said do.
Oh, cool.
That's free. That's free from me to y'all.
All right. Can I get a quick movie roll right quick? I just have one movie to talk about.
Absolutely.
Is it a new one?
Now, let's check out the movie with Crystal C.B. Booker.
All right, everybody. And the one movie that everyone needs to see that starts Friday, Mission Impossible. Yes, Tom Cruise is back as Ethan Hunt. And oh my God, this movie does not disappoint at all. The action is amazing. The stunts are great. The cinematography, it is fantastic. Everyone should support this film. And also still playing is Fast X. You still have Transformers, Rise of the Beast. There's so many good movies. Indiana Jones is also still playing, and Little Mermaid is still playing. So you have a lot of movies to support. Everyone, just go to the movies, and it's a lot cooler. Every movie theater is air conditioned, so take advantage, because this heat wave is not going away anytime soon. So find your solace and your oasis at the movies with me.
Well, we can go see the Barbie movie, because I want to see Issa Rae as a black Barbie.
Yes, the Barbie movie. That is another one that will be coming out. There's so many good movies that are coming out this summer. So everybody just go to the movies. And that's all I got to say.
We'll go together.
Yeah. Yeah, we can. Arizona, yeah.
They're going to miss half the plot. What they doing now? What they talking about? I missed you. Go ahead, go. Come on, Jordan. We ready.
Well, real quick, because we're doing this, because we have our guest host who seemed to be disappeared.
Seemed to be disappeared.
Yeah. He's MIA.
He's looking at the stars.
I don't know what happened. I don't know where he went. But on his behalf, I just wanted to hit this brief intermission.
Oh, okay. Give it to him.
Mr. Amenra himself.
Hey.
Baby, I've been staring at you all night. I think you're messing with my vision. Don't worry, girl, I'll be alright. Long as I can keep my eyes off you. Nobody's gonna tell nobody about what we getting into. Your body's too fine. You're wasting your time playing by the rules. So we gon' do it like this tonight, and we gon' party like this tonight. Alright, we gon' move like Rinks do when we late. Girl, I ain't got the time to debate. I just roll up and we skate, baby. I promise, as God is my witness, if she let me get it, I'ma handle my business, baby. Who says it don't make no difference? Cause it's mine, all mine. By the time I finish, time I finish. Time I finish. Time I finish. Girl, you looking good enough to eat. I think you're making my mouth water. I swear I can see a tangled in sheets. She on top of you and you on top of me, or whatever we get caught up in. So we gon' do it like this tonight. Oh, we gon' party like this tonight, Alright. We gon' move like Rinks do when we late. Girl, I ain't got the time to debate. I just roll up and we skate, baby. I promise, as God is my witness, she let me get it. I'ma handle my business, baby. Who says it don't make no difference? Cause it's mine, all mine. By the time I finish. Time I finish. Time I finish. Time I finish. Yo, working everything I love. I can get everything my love. Bedroom to the hot tub till I hit the spot. Nobody gon' stop us. Make you wanna curse. You wanna back, wanna purse. You just wanna put it in reverse. Write a song about it, let me put it in the verse. I'ma kill it, little mama, I'ma put it in the hearse. I ain't gotta ask who says it. Since I hit it, but the ass move different. Teach you a couple things that the classroom did it. And I promise you gon' be just fine by the time I'm finished. Time I finish. Yeah. Time I finish. Time I finish. How that time?
Man,
there you have it.
I mean, that would have been cool, you know. That wasn't bad for light-skinned people. That's my boy. I love watching him do what he does.
He ain't here to defend himself, so
I know you ain't. I wish he was. It'd be more fun. Nah, man, listen.
Right. How can you make a music video like that, but you can't keep your cell phone good enough signal to get on the show?
He got all that succulent slob up in there.
Amenra, I hope you go back and watch this so you can see the part we saying right now.
Right. Listen, brother,
your ass done fell off.
Hey, yeah, he got all that nice all that goodness. He dealing with a fucking cricket phone over there. Metro PCS and shit. You a celebrity, boy. You a star.
And that track phone.
You been upgraded, T-Mobile. Did you say track phone? Oh, that's cool. Don't you get that when you gonna get your county check? They give you a track phone. Damn. I mean, maybe I had a government cheese sandwich in my life. Maybe I haven't. I ain't judging.
Peanut butter.
Listen, that shit'll break your whole knife and everything. You can stop a mugging with a fucking can of that shit. You hit somebody with hey, crime is over with that big ass can.
But that peanut butter was good though.
If you got it out the can, yeah. If you got it out. That shit'll tear a whole loaf of bread up, boy. That's so funny. I know what I'm talking about. I wish one of y'all would. Y'all didn't know. All right, hey, that's dope. I love it. All right. So, anyway, Y'all killing me. CB, okay, we're going to formally introduce our guests who've been rocking with us all night. We're going to get into the real subject matter, and then I know we got stories and all kind of good stuff, contribution and whatnot. So, hey, sis, take it away. Who do we have here? I don't know these people. Who the people is?
We have two fabulous teachers, Miss Tammy Johnson Howard and her daughter, Miss Rochelle Howard. Welcome, guys. Welcome to CB and the Boys.
Strong J.
Glad you're here.
So I know we talked a little bit earlier about what you guys are facing with the kids of today, because they are totally different than my era, Generation X, Generation Excellence.
Right.
Yeah, it's it's a whole new world. It's like the kids today, they don't have any fear. Right. And it starts when they're in grade school.
Or when they're 4.
Yeah. That part. That's probably Amenra.
Amenra.
Okay, there it is. We got our man
press
back.
1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Hey, don't that sound like he's in the county?
Accept, press 1. To send a voicemail,
I don't want to hear those
I'm
calls.
sorry, I didn't catch that. To accept, press 1. To send a
It's your
voicemail,
partner, man.
Accept
to
the
accept,
jail
press
call.
1. To send a voicemail, press 2. That sends the caller to voicemail. Goodbye.
Damn.
Put in your debit card.
What the hell was that?
That was crazy.
That's her phone? Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
Well, while George calls him back. Hey, we need to play E40 song now. Hey, it's your partner, man. Oh my God. Yeah.
Hello.
So, our illustrious engineer, folks.
Hey, he can't even get the call to come through.
He can't pull the call. So, but yeah.
Oh, we'll try it again.
Well, mute that shit. We don't need to hear you calling your inmate.
I didn't call him. That was Amenra calling the show.
Yeah. I gave him the number.
Then some little kid gonna answer the phone. Hello, my daddy ain't here.
Ever again. Ever.
That's rough. We're going to have him go to a
wow. That is so crazy.
Yeah.
He said it kept ringing and it went to a voicemail.
Okay.
Again.
Yeah. I know we were talking off there.
Just tell him to call her back.
Where are you guys at, by the way? I didn't even ask that. Where are you guys at teaching?
Arizona.
Beautiful state of Arizona.
Okay, so both of you Arizona. Okay, I know. So you understand, losing weight, sweating, like
Arizona rules.
Right. Okay, that's cool. But yeah, so I know we were talking off air a little bit, so I'm going to start with Mom, since you've been teaching a little bit longer, just a couple of years. We both talked about this. We both started kind of close to the same time. What first of all, what brought you to teaching, and then like the kind of the journey that you had really quickly?
As I shared earlier, when we off air, my undergrad was in social work, and so I ended up being able to do it through doing trainings and CEU credits for in-home daycare providers and centers to train them and going in and out of homes. And then I had been in higher ed for some years, and then I went corporate and became a corporate trainer. But I started actually subbing and all that back in 95. And so then in 2002, I ended up going in and have never left.
I mean, it's noble. It's noble. And we've talked about that, but I know it's rough. And I know we're going to get to some stories, but I'm going to jump over and give Shorty a chance to. Okay, I can only imagine Mom was a big influence, but what's your story, Miss Rochelle?
Yes, so I'm a librarian, so I do K through 6, and I do lesson plannings for all of them. But my main source was my mom wanting to educate. But I knew I didn't want to be in the classroom, but I gotta, see that. But like, I can do things a little bit differently in the library though, but I still seem to be finding some of them crazy kids.
Okay, that's cool. I mean, I know I'm from a family of educators too. We talked a little bit about this, Tammy and I did earlier. So the stories just never stop. Like, you hear all that kind of stuff. Now, and I'm gonna ask you later on, do you see, I know y'all do you do the on Halloween, do you do the sexy librarian thing? You get your glasses and your short skirt. Cause see, when you say you're a librarian, 80s videos, y'all was in vogue. I just want to know. Inquiring minds want to know. You got that little short ass skirt, girl.
I got some glasses on.
I ain't gonna tell you, mama. Hey, listen, I ain't gonna tell you, mama. That's what you be doing. That's cool.
Thinking she Iggy Azalea.
See, right there. Hey, I'm sorry, you got a bad influence. No, that's cool. So, because again, we were talking off the air, and believe it or not, I know you can't believe I coached and subbed for a lot of years as well, believe it or not, in between doing other things. I started coaching right out of college, and then I would also sub and things like that. But it was in a little bit different of an environment. Not that, listen, different problems, still problems. So, we talk about inner city versus suburban, public versus private, things like that. But what are some of your most memorable occurrences and things like that, Tammy? I know you got a bunch, so keep it. I know you got a bunch, but give me a couple real quick.
You can go first, Roach.
Okay.
What you got, mama?
So I just remember the good old COVID days when we were online a lot, and I just miss being able to mute kids in the classroom. Like when you just tap a button and thank you very much. They're trying to talk crazy. No, thank you. But in the regular classroom, it's just like these kids, like you better off find somebody on the streets.
Damn.
Like these kids, they like you said, they're not scared of discipline.
Yeah.
Because either they're not getting it or they just don't care or whatever. But they be trying to roast me. But I'm like, look, y'all, if y'all want to come for me, better be prepared now. I'm not afraid to make fun of a child.
You know why they're not afraid of discipline, right?
Huh?
You know why they're not afraid of discipline, right?
Because they're not getting it, most likely.
It's exactly what it is. See, they didn't get that. Discipline to them is put your nose in the corner, go sit in timeout, that shit. Discipline to us was go get that switch out of the tree.
Yeah, let me get that.
Give me my belt. All that kind of stuff. It was a lot more physical. We had something to be afraid of. They ain't got shit to be afraid of. What are you gonna tell me to do? Go sit down in the corner?
That's so true.
Yeah, kids. The idea of punishment now is go to your room. How the fuck is that punishment? They got cable TV, PlayStation, Netflix. What the fuck kind of punishment is that?
That's true.
And I mean, if you think about it, look, you have a lot of parents, unfortunately, that they are second generation, third generation, complete, breakdown of the system. Parents are too young to take care of them. And a lot of us, I'm an Xer too. A lot of us came from that in our generation and things like that. The crack epidemic, things like that. And so there was just such a chaotic upbringing that it was babies raising babies. That's where the coin term came from. Our generation, babies raising babies. You know what I mean?
Babies raising
babies. And
again,
like CB said, like you guys are echoing, there's no fear, because what's the repercussion? Parents can't do anything. And I know we had that issue too. You know what we feared? Having to call my parent at work for some shit I did. Listen, you can kill me, you can call the police. Don't you call my mama till 4:30, because if you do, mom and daddy got
we all getting in trouble.
Yeah, so there's a lot of different factors.
Hey, I grew up in an era where my parents was fresh off a nigga's ass.
Getting homesick.
Shoot.
So, for real.
But the thing is, they've put the power in the kids' hands because they call 911. They are prepared to be taken away. They want to be taken away. You know.
I used to tell y'all better let the police come get y'all.
Right.
You know,
they're tired of it too. Go ahead.
Just like she was saying about the timeout and during COVID, I had a young lady that would never log on, be gone daily. I call home. So I finally got a hold to the mother, and she and I had this conversation, and she was like, I can't get her out of bed. Girl, she is 12 years old. What do you mean you can't get her out of bed? And that's what I said. Like, what do you mean? She's 12.
What do you mean?
Yeah, and so then and then me and her and the mom and I actually started building a relationship. And I was like, look, what is the problem? You need to go in there and drag her out of bed. And so then she was like, it's her daddy. She's his only girl and blah, blah, blah. I said, do you want me to talk to him?
What does that mean? What does that mean?
Tell me, the daddy didn't want her, didn't want to her and let her do what she wanted. He didn't want to get her upset.
But you're on.
Yeah, that makes her. That
okay,
makes.
Amenra's back.
Hi, Amenra.
All right, good to have you back. That's a huge.
Well, he was. He got another.
And so I asked the mom. I said, "Do you want me to talk to him?" She said, "Oh yeah." So really? I called one morning, and he gets on the phone and starts talking Spanish. No habla. I said, no habla español.
Hello.
Nosotros.
I got him right here.
Nosotros español. He said, shit. And I couldn't get away with it. We're gonna talk English and Spanish.
Can you hear?
Yeah, I can hear.
Okay. Sorry to interrupt you, Tim. We got Amenra on the audio on the phone now, so.
Yeah, you're not gonna get rid of me that easy.
We can't see him, but we can hear him.
Video was cool.
Yeah, man. You fell off. You fell off right when I queued up your video for the intermission.
Oh, I appreciate you. For which song?
Finish.
Finish.
The one with all the.
But we gonna need you to finish getting you a new cell phone, though, bro.
I gotta not be in the middle of nowhere. That's what it is.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I'm in the middle of nowhere.
That's right. You straight, bro. You straight.
I'm just giving grief.
No.
So yeah,
what did I miss?
We're just trying to kind of break down the nature of these young ladies being educators and how difficult it is and why so many people are getting out of it and why they're really, I'm sorry, there's not a lot of quality, educators and teachers and coaches anymore. And I get it. I get why. What's your reward? And I know people go, oh, watching them grow and do this. It's not a reward because they'll fight you. They'll do whatever. So what's the reward? Yeah, see, that's a problem. That's a real problem. I can't even imagine.
And that's one of those mindsets that you think about because, I've been doing this a long time. And I'm like, at this time and this age, you know what? You and your parents can come for me. But I'm not going to sit here and let you fail because you chose to. And if your parents we're going to have a conversation. And I tell parents, I've been in parent conferences and I've had parents, they kids talking to them like they got 3 heads. And I will look at, I say, stop. I said, I'm going to tell you right now. I said, no, pardon me, ma'am. Pardon me, sir. I said, but your child is not going to speak to you like that in front of me. I said, I don't play that. And I said, and I'll look at that kid in front of their parent. I said, you need to apologize. And
that's the kind of key.
These glass nails on. I said, your mama sit up here working like a dog. And you got on better nails than she do, and you don't even come to school and do your work. I said, if you was my child, them nails would be ripped off by the fingernails.
Well, they shouldn't have them.
And
you sound like my teachers. My teachers are in there, but the thing is, a lot of times what happens from then to now, you have to ask people what's their why. because a lot of teachers are doing it because of the money, because of the check, or because of frivolous reasons. You see these teachers are looking younger, and a lot of teachers, like when I came up, the math teacher was doing math his whole life before he became a math teacher. Now, if you got a certain amount of time, okay, I need you to teach you social studies next semester. So a lot of times teachers are just switching subjects. Like if you was teaching the subject in school, high school, junior high school, you had to be that subject. Oh no, I am social studies, language arts. Now, no, I'm here for a check because I'm sitting there dating a teacher, or I'm sitting there in the club with a teacher. And don't you got to be to work tomorrow morning? Yeah, I'll get there. So it's like you have to ask, what's the why? So the way you was just talking sounds like the teachers I grew up with that had the 6 rulers that used to pop your hand and then tell your parents that they popped your hand, and then your parents would be the one to say thank you for doing that to my kid because they're the parent until I come home. So what happens is the respect for teachers is gone because the teacher, like my teacher, his name is Miss Alexis, and she had the little glasses that came down to her nose. She wore the long flower dress. Now teachers look like they going to the club. Like it's just a whole different situation. So
the teachers look like Kiki.
So, but then it comes that's why I asked. It comes back down to anything you do. What's your why? Like, what is your why? Why are you doing this? Are you doing this to see kids educated? Are you doing it to pass the time? Are you doing it because you just want to have a job with benefits? You want to get some kind of things? What's your why?
Well, and that goes to how more than teaching. I have a background that has been a wealth of other experiences. So no, it's. Truthfully, I want to improve my future. I'm going to be retiring in some few years. I want to know that I don't want to be placed on a firing squad when these kids are running our country. And to be a foundation to make sure that we have quality adults that are going to be able to run our country. And don't get me wrong, there's a bunch of them that I look at and I would ask to be on the firing squad first. But just to give a prime example, because there's kids that I see potential in them, and nobody else had, and you know, and I'll call them on the carpet. I'm saying, you know what, I see what you're capable of doing. Just to give an example of, we have when this young man was in 7th grade, he came to our school. He was running another school, like running them teachers and running the other kids. He was in a gang and came to our school in 7th grade. Looked like somebody daddy. And so me and this other black teacher, he came in my class one day, had a hat on, sit back. I said, you need to take off your hat, honey. This little boy looked at me like, bitch, please. And I looked right back at him and I said, I don't know who you think you're talking to and who you think you're looking at like this. So I said, you might want to ask somebody because I'm not the one. I said, I come up here to teach these kids, and I will not, and I do not tolerate somebody else coming up in here taking somebody else's opportunity to learn away from them. I said, so we're going to figure this out real quick. And I don't,
isn't the Board of Education? Isn't the Board of Education kind of tying one hand behind y'all back, like giving these students so much leeway on things that the teachers can and can't do now? Like, it's like, yo, you can't talk back to a teacher. You got to call him by their pronoun. You can't sit there and do it. Like, I don't remember none of these things happening.
Yeah. Like,
well, and you know, but I will tell you, this young man, because by the time he got to acting a fool, and me and this other black teacher, we were team members on our team. Let me tell you, by the end of that year when he was there, the other white teachers would come up in there, and even the principal, he had the principal chasing him around the campus like, I don't give a fuck what this motherfucker said. And that's what he looked at the principal and said. So one day there was a sub in my friend Lisa's class, and me and her, we shared joint doors, and I could hear him in there going off. All I did was stood in the door, and he stopped talking. And one of the other kids say, "Oh, you not gonna say that now?" He said, "No, Miss Howard said, I don't fuck with her."
Wow.
But see,
and to this day, he would come to 8th grade. He was in 8th grade this past school year. Do you know that little boy would come over to my building just to say hi to me every day?
Wow.
Now, you know, but the respect, he knew that I gave a dog about it, but I wasn't going to let him act no fool.
I think
a lot of,
and the respect level.
A lot of these kids. Different. Yeah, a lot of these kids' behavior is a trauma response. Mm-hmm. A lot of times when they're coming to school with the things that's going on in their life, that after you get past those walls, you realize that they need you and they want you to teach them and they want to learn, but they come from whatever they're coming from, whether it be home or the streets, and they're bringing that to the classroom.
Mm-hmm. And this same kid, which is one of those things that really hit me, and why I think me and my cohort was so into trying to help this kid. He came to school one day. You guys, I swear, he came to school like you could tell he was like a little, but he was hood, gangster. He was in gangs. But this particular day he came and he was just like, okay, whatever, same old, same old. Come to find out, the night before his cousin got killed right in front of him. Came to school like nothing. Like it was just another day. It didn't mean, and then I'm like, are you okay? I talked to him. I said, I'm good. It is what it is.
Dang.
I'm like, okay. Well, now this kid, I'm going to ask you guys' opinion on this, especially as males. Because I know men have a different mindset sometimes. And especially about this. So he was just in 8th grade this past school year. He a daddy now.
Wow.
But the mama's 20.
Whoa. Was she a teacher?
No. And what's worse is I'm like, Interno, I'm somebody. But
see, look what you said. You said earlier this young man looked much older, which is kind of par for the course now.
That was that was gonna be my other question: is how old is he? Because
he's only 15. He's 14.
He's 14.
Okay, because he might have been in 8th grade a couple times.
Where's that?
I'm just saying.
How long you been in 8th grade? Like, we look at that like if that was your son, you'd be like, "Oh man, my son got him an older woman." But then this becomes serious because
it does.
Like my grandma would say, he took seriously when she was poking at him in fun, and now all of a sudden, you're a 14-year-old father. Do you understand how dumb 14-year-olds? Do you understand do you understand how dumb 21-year-olds are? 24. And sorry if anybody else out there's 20, but listen, I got them. You're coming about, you're learning, and you're still making mistakes. Hell, 44 is still making mistakes.
Well,
the fact that he's done that means he's been on his own for a long time. He hasn't had guidance again, which is George has an adult son. I have an adult son. Crystal has an adult son.
First things first. The human brain isn't even fully developed until the age of 25.
That's when that limbic nerve actually kicks in, and a lot of these kids don't have that clue. That limbic, limbic nerve just like okay, because the synapses are not completely firing until they are 25. You're right.
Right.
And I had a second grader this year that was, came up to us like, now this is like she asking to go to the bathroom, you guys. She came up and we was out in the hall and asked, could she go to the nurse? And of course, she's one of them kids that was hopping the fence during the day to leave school. So we always had to kind of make sure where you going for real.
Right.
And she was also one that we had to dress code. Two of us would have to come out in the hall and say, open your jacket. Because there would be days she didn't have nothing on under her jacket.
But why do you think that is? Why do you think that happens?
Well, we already know now because the day she asked to go to the nurse, we asked her, why does she need to go? I want to go get a pregnancy test. We don't do that here at school. Her mama was gone. So we looked at her, we followed her out. After school was out, I said, you need to have your mom take you to get it. We can't afford it. I gave her the money and said, you have your mom take you.
Well, she's either watching her mom's behavior or she never sees her mom.
Yep, she was pregnant.
And unfortunately, that's what happens. If the father isn't in the home, guess what? You start looking for him somewhere else. That's why younger women end up pregnant by older men, and these girls are getting caught up. And again, it's very systematic. So it's nothing we haven't seen before. It's just kind of how do we remedy it. And I know you guys are dealing with children that have not only homework is at the bottom of the list when they're worried about how they're going to live, where they're going to sleep, what they're going to eat. Shit, homework is the least of their worries. And I mean,
certain grades don't even get homework anymore.
Yeah,
certain grades in June.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. When my kids came home with no books, I couldn't take it. I would lose my shit. And then, my daughters would be like, oh, it's on the computer. We do it all at school. Then it's not homework, dumb shit. It's called you get it there.
You know, around here they just started teaching. They just started teaching cursive writing again. They stopped teaching.
That's across. That's unfortunately that's a universal across the board. All states have opted out of cursive writing now.
How the hell are you gonna sign a contract?
In text, like in text message or with all caps? Damn. Come on, man.
Emoji.
What an emoji. Hey, how remedial are these people? It just, it's
and I'm an ELA teacher, so that pisses me off. So I will, even though I'm having to teach certain standards, I still pull in things that we no longer are required to teach because I know that. So I still cover the standards that we have to do legally based on the state. But I have kids use handwriting because I'm like, no, you need to go out there and write. And then when I have kids that, especially since the pandemic, when I have kids coming in and I do an assessment on my students, all of them at the beginning of the year, to see where their reading level is so that I know what I need to do to get that particular kid where they need to be because they're not all at the same level. And last year I had just an adorable little girl. You guys, I kid you not. She could not read at the pre-K level. And she was
pre-K?
That's a huge problem across the board.
Seventh grade.
So that's interesting. As a librarian, my dear, librarian, what the hell happens in your building? Because you're in control of the books. Do they have books?
Yeah, so we do a thing called accelerated reader, and so it's everybody takes a test, and then it puts them in a reading bracket. And so all my books are labeled, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, based off of where their reading level is. But we had like 6th graders who weren't even reading at 1st and 2nd grade level. And I think sometimes that's where the behaviors come from, is because they don't understand anything that's going on in the classroom. If you can't read, you're not getting nowhere. I had a girl, she was in 6th grade. She'd be wilding, acting crazy at school, but couldn't tell me what 50 cents was when we was doing a fundraiser. She handed me a whole handful of change and asked me what was 50 cents. So these kids can't count money. They can't read. And they're just pushing them on up and up and up. So you get 12th graders that still can't do none of this stuff.
Okay. So I'm not being funny. In terms of like library cards and checking out books, does that even exist anymore?
Well,
so we don't have the card catalogs and stuff like that anymore. Everything's on the computer, but each book is entered as it tells you the reading level, the author. Dewey Decimal is still somewhat in use, but the kids like to even put just alphabetical, just put all the A's with A's, put all the B's with B's. They can't even do that.
Jesus.
And then you have to look at it. There's a lot of school districts in Arizona that are pulling libraries. I taught in Coolidge. We had no library at the junior high and high school. They closed them down. You couldn't even check books out to the kids. So I started bringing books in and giving kids my books. But unfortunately, that was stuff I was paying for to check out to kids in the school.
Right.
Who didn't care.
See, but we make light of it, but this is what I'm talking about. But you also have, you have a lot of immigrant parents or a lot of, first and second generation illegal aliens that come over. They can't go to school because they're not legal, and then they go to work and they can't teach their children. So literally, you have 12 and 13-year-old children or younger being the translator for the family, being the spokesperson. And so I can see why they don't understand a whole lot of shit. You can't teach what you don't know.
Thank you.
But it's such a broken system. I mean, it's really heartbreaking to see, and I feel like it's being done deliberately by our own country. Like they're trying. I don't know what the end goal is, but you talk about
they have an agenda. They do. They definitely have an agenda.
This too, because if we feel like if we have these, and unfortunately, like I said, I had just been teaching at a predominantly Hispanic school district.
Right.
And even everybody at district office was even Hispanic. And so being able, one of my African students, he came here. And so his name was in our system. and I was calling him his name. Come to find out, y'all, that wasn't even his name. It was spelled wrong. And I said, well, baby, why does it say this in this? Because his mother couldn't understand the language. So when they did their green cards.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
It's a mess. It's a mess. I mean,
legally in our state or in the US, his name has to be something else because she didn't know how to spell it in English. And unfortunately, because it was on the green card, they can't change it.
That's like slavery. That's how people got different names because of lack of spelling. CB, you was gonna say something?
Yeah, I have a funny story that one of my friends. She went to school with this guy, and he rode the little bus to school.
The short bus.
But the reason he was on the short bus was because of a communication conflict.
Oh no!
So his parents were from Mexico, and he, of course, and his siblings were the translators for the family. But so when they went to get enrolled in school, and his siblings didn't correct this. This is hilarious, though. So when they went to get enrolled in school, the school asked, her if her son was special. And she was like, see, special. Not realizing that they meant special. So he rode the little bus to school and he never understood.
Why he was there with these other kids?
Yeah, he didn't realize that he was on the little bus. So they recently had their the class reunion. And she said that he came up to her and he asked her, he was like, I really had a crush on you in school. How come you never went out with me? How come we never hung out? And she said, well, you're special needs. And he was like, hey, what?
You're
she
fired.
was like, you were on the little bus. He was in his 50s when he found out that he was on the little bus. He called his mom and his family and he was like, Mom, did you have me on the little bus? Was I in the special needs bus?
Now here's my I'm gonna have to address this one because he obviously knew that he was not the same as them kids on that short bus.
No, he thought he was a genius. He was like, I'm a fucking prodigy. I'm the he was like, I'm cold up here. I'm a valedictorian, baby.
Right.
Hey, look. But wait a minute. Just naturally thinking, my first thought would have been, why is everybody else's bus bigger than mine?
Right.
But see, they bus got everywhere quicker. They got everywhere quicker. And here's the thing.
But he's 50 years old, just figuring it out.
They belong on that bus after all.
Right. That part.
He still had his helmet. He still had his helmet. Meep. Come on, man. Come on.
I'm like, dude, you 50 just now asking why somebody to go out with you. You was on the short bus from elementary to high school.
But think about it.
His brothers and sisters never told him.
Why does everyone else have a helmet? Where's mine at?
So in reality, he thought they were part of the skateboard team. So
apparently.
But then when everybody started licking the windows, it made him wonder.
They was cleaning the windows. They weren't window lickers.
Okay, look. I know we got everybody's got. I know I got horror stories because trust me, it doesn't matter what side you're on with that. You're always gonna get those problems. Here's what I'll say. Obviously I'm partial to my generation. Everybody is, but I think everybody pretty much post Generation X. a little bit different. And I saw this a couple of weeks ago, and I'm glad you guys are on here because this is what I'm hoping we can get back to. So I'm gonna show this to you real quick. Check it out.
Who let Gen X off the hook? Why are we talking shit about those guys?
Because, sir, we will fuck you up. We fought in real life, not on the internet. We are the last generation. We are the last generation. We didn't have safe spaces. We didn't have trigger warnings. No one was allergic to fucking. No one was allergic to. We mind our own business. We are older than Google. We are not the bigger person. Leave us alone. Leave us alone.
Who let?
Period.
Hey, I love how she described it. She was like, "Look, straight up, we'll fuck you up." Like that's my generation.
Period.
So I'm sorry if you came after that.
And she was born in this
Generation X is it, man. We rule.
Huh?
We still rule.
Yes, when she
Generation
born.
X. Period. We rule completely.
And that's what these people be looking at. Over the decades of teaching, and this is gonna, I think it was George that mentioned it earlier when you said about, one of you guys said something about the crack era.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, guys, it is blatantly obvious. I mean, it's so obvious, like the crack versus the meth versus you can truly see. I can tell. I'm looking at students and I'm going, "Oh, their parents were on crack when they were."
Wow, the fact that you can make that determination, that's sad as hell. The fact that you can look at, and it's not the child's fault, but I mean the fact that you can look at a kid and go, "Your parent did this drug. Your parent did this drug." Like, not, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not being funny, but back in the day. Yeah, you had a kid, you had one or two kids that you knew was a little slower, maybe autism or Downs or palsy or something. That was one out of a whole big group. Now,
it's a lot.
You're lucky to find one that doesn't have anything wrong with them between ADHD and 300 other fucking diagnoses these kids use to say that they're crazy. Anxiety, this, that, and the third. And I mean, a lot of it is valid. Some of it is not. I'm sorry. I tell my daughters and my kids all the time, your generation's full of pussies. I said it. But at the same time, there's so many different diagnoses for why these kids are not going to make it. You're welcome.
But I do have a question, though. Like, when you mentioned that you had the little girl who couldn't read, and Rochelle, when you talked about the kids that can't read, like, do they not fail children anymore?
Not here.
They just pass them on?
And back in the day, it was my understanding that if it was a parent's choice to hold back a child, they could do so at will.
Not here.
But there was a parent that was at my school who, she was like, "Please, my son is not ready to go to middle school. He needs to be held back. She would come back. It was like 2 or 3 weeks of her constantly calling in and giving, sending emails, getting proof from doctors and things like that. And our principal would not. She's like, "No, he's fine." It moved him on up, and he can't read or anything. Like, he's great now, and he's struggling.
Remember the dad you had that came in there and talking about his little girl, talking about she was dumb and couldn't read shit.
Yeah, there are some parents that just know.
Okay, but what's that say about them?
You're not gonna put her back. She can't even know. She don't even know her name. I mean, remember the one you told me about? He was
like he just was just like this was an involved parent,
not anymore.
But so Gage was saying he thought it was parents' choice, much like we were just speaking about. And okay, but here's my thing, and I know because again I have a lot of educators in my family. You go through hell trying to actually flunk a kid because mainly it has to do with accreditation and money based on your school district. So it looks bad now because they basically incentivize passing everybody through, having a particular percentage rate of passing.
We're not serving them. In fact, now in Missouri, it's different. Look, I had several kids through the years. They thought they was going to the next grade. They got snatched out of that grade and put back in the one below. And some of them, the parents put them back twice, and different stuff. And I mean, here though, we had to literally, well, we can't put them back because we didn't start this at the beginning of the year. Well, what do you mean you're telling us as teachers? We see these children every day. And you're telling us, so if we didn't say on the first day of school that we were going to hold them back at the end, we can't take care.
On the first day, really?
Yeah. So they like, we had to process this since the beginning. Well, we've been telling you this since second quarter. We've been documenting this in second quarter. Well, since you didn't do it first, how the fuck are we gonna do this first quarter when we just now learning?
But you realize that a lot of parents, especially in disenfranchised and lower socioeconomic areas, they send their children to school for multiple reasons. One, sometimes it might be the only meal of the day. Two, like I said, to help become the family translator and to kind of go up that ladder before they have to start working. And three, to actually help raise or get a break from a child they had. So the reason behind it isn't what it used to be. You're right. We used to go send them there for an education, get better education, better job. It's not about that anymore. It's like, how can this system serve me so that I can go to work or not work or do what the hell ever? And so you're right. You're not serving the children but your hands are tied, like Amenra said earlier. You do have your hands tied, and I know that because I've heard too many stories my whole life from my family members that were teachers before I did. You don't have any recourse. You don't. You just don't, because you can't discipline them. You can't fail them. You just kind of have to let them wander halls or leave and not disrupt. That's a complete failure of a system, which is why this country is a laughing stock. Because
and you have some teachers that will go above and beyond. You know, like some of us put all this extra time in, and it's obviously not for the money because we do it outside of our pay, outside of our bracket. We do it in the morning. I've done it on lunch. I've done it after school. And, you know, I had one kid that when he was in 7th grade, he came in my 7th grade reading 3rd grade level. But I worked with him in the mornings. I worked with him on lunch breaks. And he came in. He wanted to learn. And after school, by the end, when we took testing at the end of the school year, he was reading at grade level.
And that's unfortunately, you guys are rare because, you know, we've all heard the stories. Every one of us can tell that story about that one teacher that cared, that loved us. But guess what? For everyone that's like you, there are lots that are not. We talked about it earlier when it came to, you know, whether it be benefits or trying to move up in the system or whatever. But I can only imagine how difficult it is to care when you get cussed out by an 8-year-old, or when you get cussed out by the parents who used to be, if a teacher or any adult said anything, your ass was guilty. Now these parents will fight, shoot, and do whatever.
Yes!
If that little pickaninny comes home and says anything wrong, you can't win. See, that's why I can't do it.
It's like you don't get the help from the parents, because I would do reading groups with kids that were just way behind. And the little girl told me once, I was like, how come you're not, you know, we've been working on this for weeks. Are you doing this at home? My mom doesn't do it at home because she's busy and she's tired when she gets home.
Yeah, and you're going to hear that.
So my mom's too tired to help me.
And that's the problem.
Mom is going to blame the teachers when their child can't read. We can do what we can in the classroom, but sometimes that reinforcement is needed at home.
You got to keep going.
You don't say, well, let's.
It ain't sometimes. It's all the time. Listen, I would grill my kids couldn't stand coming home from school because I'm like, let's run it. I used to get so mad because they didn't have books. But the difference is, you know, and again, we talk about things, and they are far more savvy than I was at that age. When I was remotely intelligent at the time, but they have so many influences, and the fact that, again, we have open conversation and dialogue. So they had that understanding. And Gage said it best. Parents got younger and lack accountability. Don't get me started on accountability, brother. But that's true. You can't teach what you don't know. And so it just starts right there. If I don't know, it's not important to me. If I don't care, that's your job. Remember, your job is to raise my kid. Even though you might have, 22 other kids in there, it's your job to turn my child into something better than me. And that's a bullshit system.
But that is bull, because we can teach them this amount, but you need to practice it to continue it. And I can do this all day long in the classroom. And yes, and I can do it after school. I can do, but it's that if that child cares more than the parent, that's what's going to help that child. But if the child don't really give a damn and the parents don't give a damn, it's fighting a losing battle.
Yeah. You're a reflection of your environment. You are. We all are.
Speaking of battle, how have you guys navigated through the critical race theory thing that's going around?
Okay.
Oh shit.
You know what? I can't even talk right now.
I know. Listen, I know where you live. So shit, that's a whole other subject. I know where you are.
We had a professional development last year, not this past year, but the year before. And this young white girl, she might have been Hispanic or part half, whatever, stupid, did the training.
Wait a minute.
What?
They showed us, all of us, you could see on Zoom, the black teachers, and then me and my friend Lisa started looking through all the 700 and something of us that was in this Zoom, because we wanted to know we weren't the only ones that was about to jump through that screen and choke the holy shit out this girl. She said we had to stop talking about slavery because it didn't happen.
What?
No, slavery wasn't allowed. Slavery was a decision choice.
Then they showed us the video. And they was interviewing this man, an older man. He was probably 80, 90. He was old.
He had slaves, shit.
No, he was black. And you want to hear what they asked?
Was a slave, shit.
You want to hear what they asked him in this video?
What?
What job did you pick?
What?
That's how all of us was looking. Even our white friends was like, and Joey, he was a young guy that taught. And he said, "What you mean? What the fuck? What kind of job did he like? He had a choice." I said, according to your girl, he had a choice. He got to pick the job he wanted. And if he didn't, and you know what, Master God beat shit out of me because I didn't do that job you gave me no money for. She said they got to pick their jobs.
Wow.
Girl, you wasn't even born but yesterday. So I'm going to ask you to do some more research before you make a comment like that.
Exactly.
And now
but they're going off of what they've been told. Listen, you got black people like Kanye saying slavery was a choice. So you have to understand. Okay, I'm gonna make a point. So 402 just said earlier, rappers are to blame. Now we kind of joking a little bit. We showed that, but here's what I'll say. Okay, if you say rappers are to blame, I will agree that our influences are horrible. But at the same time, if you don't go and correct your children, or if you don't control their content, then guess what? No, you're the blame. But when you have other groups of people whose parents or forebears tell them that, you know what, it was an option, they didn't have to deal with that. Guess what? You have to buy into what you're shown, which is why they don't want to teach CRT. But guess what? I don't need that shit taught at my kids' school, because guess what? My kids come home, I'm their encyclopedia. So we will either I'm going to have the answer, I'm going to look it up, or we're going to figure it out together. I'm not depending on someone else to drive that particular vehicle, because I know that, and they know they're not going to get the whole truth. So my kids are already conspiracy theorists early in life. I'm proud of them.
Well, we were even told not this past, but the year prior, we could no longer teach about slavery or talk about it. We could no longer teach about the Holocaust. We could no longer any literature based on any of those concepts couldn't be taught.
Because white people don't like to feel guilty. It hurts their psyche. It makes them feel some kind of way. Now listen, I talk shit on people, but look, I know nothing is 100% universal across the board.
That's not the reason. It's harder to control. No, that's not the reason. The reason is it's harder to control somebody that's educated than it is somebody that's not educated.
That's why we think folks.
Oh, sure. Which is why, and again, that kind of falls back into a little bit of what we talked about last week. But if you look at it, do you understand? In the state of Florida, obviously, and other places, parents were suing the school district for teaching CRT because it made their children